Alright, so Bellibolt probably going to be one of the smoother things you can use here. Anything with acid spray is going to be good, particularly anything with acid spray and a draining move. And Bellibolt with his ability and everything we all know makes it so good, just, well, you know, makes it so good. It didn't taunt on turn 1. That's interesting. Huh. I think I'm just gonna acid spray until I die. I'm just gonna do that. I think it's perfectly fine to just acid spray until you die. You'll have plenty of time. Yeah, even though I'm about to faint, I'll acid. You know what? I'll do it the right way. I'm gonna Parabolic Charge. I'll avoid it. And all I gotta do is just get one Parabolic Charge in here. I mean, I could just start the spam, but, you know, why not? It doesn't clean itself. I'm not gonna Terrasilize yet. I'm not gonna Terrasilize until I'm ready to spam and I'm at full health. That's when I'm gonna Terrasilize. But it turns out it's gonna be this turn because it finally taunted me. Usually, in my testing so far, Magmortar almost always taunts you on turn 1. So, I don't know. I kind of wanted to find out what would happen if it didn't taunt you, and I'm glad it did in this one. And that's it. I'm at full health. Make sure you're at full health when you Terrasilize, because that's probably the only way you can lose this raid. That being said, I think if you fainted while you were Terrasilize, you might still be able to win this raid. Just because when a Pokemon doesn't do a certain clean and you take advantage of it, it just... the damage gets really out of hand. You know, especially... I've gotten it to -6, and now Metronome's just gonna start to stack. You know? So... once you get to this point, it's about as safe a strategy you're gonna get. Now, if it used Psychic, then there would be a chance that it could knock me out. With one of these strategies, with Baxcalibur, there is a chance it could knock you out. It's a low one, because for the latter half of the raid, after Baxcalibur Terrastilizes into a Dragon type, it'll use Psychic instead, so... what does that mean? That means there's a small chance it's gonna lower your special defense. And given it spams Psychic, those chances get very high very fast. That being said, Baxcalibur's still pretty safe, but like so many other raids, Bellibolt's probably just the best for this. Bellibolt's so damn good. And this raid's just another example. This next Parabolic Charge is probably the last one. Yeah. More than half health, half of the timer left. And that's not abnormal for Bellibolt, particularly when a Pokemon does not clean itself. You can turn that far into your favor. So the idea with Goodra, we're going to use 2 Skitter Smacks, just because it's probably going to use Psychic a lot, which means it'll drop our special it's most likely to drop our special defense at least once or twice. The Skitter Smacks are just going to make sure that that damage doesn't get out of hand. And the damage incoming is going to be laughable at best. But I just want to, you know, make sure it's as unlikely as possible that our turbo strat is being interrupted, right? I don't want to have to worry about the special defense drops. So we got it to -2 on special attack, which is almost always going to be more than enough to keep us safe. Because once we hit our turbo button, we're going to be healing quite a bit. Alright. And of course, Magmortar's not going to clean itself, so we know all these debuffs are going to stick with it, which is good. And I'm not going to terastallize until I'm ready to turbo. That's the fastest way to do it if you're lazy. Set it up, terastallize, turbo. Put the controller down. Alright, we got it to -6, so we're good to go. We got our Dragon Pulse in our first move slot. It's not doing any damage. It hasn't even gotten a special defense drop yet, so this one's going pretty smooth. But even if we get 1 or 2 defense drops, there we go, we got burned. We're gonna be fine, but it's too late. There we go, and I'll turn the turbo button on, and I'll put it down. So that was on the 6th turn that I turned the turbo button, and I think it takes like 10 Dragon Pulses to end this raid or something like that. It's not too bad. Getting something to -6 on special defense sure does expedite things. Yeah, it's gonna, I mean, it shields up at 50% HP, it's gonna clean us, but it never self-cleans. It'll do an extra lava plume late in the raid, we don't care. The most threatening thing this Magmortar does to Goodra is burn it. That's pretty much it. Taunt doesn't affect us, right? Because Skitter Smack and Acid Spray are our setup moves and they do damage. Well, I was going to put this as the 3rd option, but I think this might be even better than Ceruledge. It's not better than Bellibolt. You're less likely to die than Bellibolt, but Bellibolt doesn't care. He just comes back to life and finishes the raid. And wins anyway. Bellibolt's just faster. Gets the metronome stacking on top of the -6, so it's really hard to beat that. Cleans us, doesn't matter, we haven't buffed at all. Yeah. Gotta love the turbo strats. And I'm pretty sure more than half of the raids can be beaten with some form of a turbo strat. There's only 2 6-star raids that I have not beaten solo. They're both in Paldea. And they're not the raids that are more likely to drop Herber or anything. It's Annihilate and Gardevoir. So, if anyone knows how to solo those, proper solo, not with people online, let me know, because I have tried and failed. But everything else, I've taken everything else up. Most of them are not hard. As long as you look it up on Cerebi, you know what cleans are coming. No reason to struggle, you know, just look it up and plan ahead. Make it easy. There's a lot of stuff you can do while you're raiding if you're doing a lot of turbo strats, you know. Every time you get into a raid, you get like 3 minutes to do whatever while the raid's going. Yep. Yeah, so 6th turn and onward, turbo button for the win. So with the physical attackers here, Leer is the best thing we have. I could probably find a Screecher. Hell, Annihilate would work. Can't be putting Annihilate in every video though, you know? Oh, right, I got taunted on turn 1. Okay. I'm gonna have to do a couple Bitter Blades. That's fine, at least I get to charge my Tera Orb. If you don't get that turn 0 taunt, it makes the setup a lot faster though. So this is good data, right? You would have leered on turn 1 if you can. Or actually, better yet, I've only used 2. Better yet, you would use taunt on turn 1 so that it can't taunt you, and then you can set up like 2 or 3 Leers rather than just the 1. But we do want to get a couple Leers off just to make sure to have this. So that's 3. Let's get a Leer. Yeah, we want to get its defense down. It's going to increase our damage, and he's not going to clean this. And we can terrestrialize at any time, and we can outspeed it. So as long as we're alive, we don't have to worry about when we terrestrialize. How many Leers have I used? I'm going to use a Bitter Blade just to stay alive and see if I can squeeze in another Leer. But 3 Leers, I mean 2 is enough. I'm just being greedy. Yeah, I'll definitely survive a crit, so now's the time for me to do a Leer. Pretty sure there's no extra move coming here. There is an extra Lava Plume at the end, but obviously... Oh yeah, right, we can't Leer anymore. Okay. And when we terrestrialize, as long as Bitter Blade is in the first move slot, we can turn the turbo button and put down the controller. Ceruledge is going to do a lot of damage. And it's going to increase still with the Metronome boosts. Swords Dance is not necessary here, because as you're going to see soon, he's going to clean us. So those Swords Dance would have been a bit wasted. But we're using Leer because he's not going to clean those defense drops. Now we're not worried about taunt anymore. We wouldn't even Leer without the taunt. But this raid's over. Because Magmortar is never going to OHKO us, and that's what it's going to take. Yeah. And none of the allies here are doing anything to decrease the special damage. Well, maybe I should double check that. See if Arcanine has something. Snarl? Pretty sure it's Flamethrower. I don't know what else. Now's not the time to look it up. But yeah, this has about the same level of ease as Bellibolt. You actually saw the more difficult version where you get the turn 0 taunt. If you didn't, then what you would do is taunt it so that it can't taunt you, because most of the time on turn 1 it will try to taunt you. And then you get a, 2 or 3 Leers in. 1 Leer is enough. In most of my testing I did 1 Leer and then just spam Bitter Blade, walk away. So if you're in a hurry, there's something else you want to do, then, you can do that for you multitaskers. Yep. Plenty of damage. Smash that like button and subscribe.